Binoculars, welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on some interesting updates. Starting with this report claiming that Barcelona and Atletico Madrid are set to finalize €20 million agreement for Antoine Griezmann. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then secondly, talking about Martin Zubimendi of Real Sociedad, it has been reported that the Barcelona Busquets replacement target have agreed a new contract with Real Sociedad. We are going to be discussing on that as well. So guys, before we get right into it in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch right up to the very end. After a long drawn-out saga, Barcelona and Atletico Madrid are finally close to reaching an agreement over the transfer of French forward Antoine Griezmann, according to Marca. Griezmann returned to Atletico last year after two subpar seasons at Barcelona. The 31-year-old had joined on a one-year loan deal with an option to extend it by another year. A mandatory permanent purchase clause of €40 million was also inserted. However, Atletico Madrid have been unwilling to pay that amount and have been trying to exploit a clause in the agreement that would free them of the obligation by playing Griezmann for 30 minutes or less. Barcelona initially considered a lawsuit against their La Liga rivals Atletico, but in recent weeks have decided against it as they would rather close the books on Griezmann rather than face the prospect of having him back at the club next season. Negotiations have been going on for a while between the two clubs, and as per the latest report, an agreement is now imminent. According to the update, Barcelona and Atletico Madrid will shake hands on a deal worth €20 million, with a €40 million obligatory clause no longer in place. It would mean that Diego Simeone will be free to use Griezmann regularly rather than restrict his game type. Other media outlets are indicating that there will be a €2 million bonus payment also involved in the deal, while Griezmann will also be agreeing another pay cut to extend his stay at the City's Metropolitano Stadium. The Frenchman had already agreed to reduce his salary by 50% to secure a return to Atletico last year and had accepted another reduction earlier this summer in order to help the club with their player registration problems, and the 31-year-old will now be subjected to yet another pay cut. However, the French international was always keen on continuing at Atletico Madrid, while the club wanted to keep him as well, and with Barcelona also being intent on offloading him, all parties seem to be getting their desired outcome from the deal. So, after a long drawn-out saga about Antoine Griezmann between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, Marca is reporting that the two clubs are close to reaching an agreement to make the deal permanent. Of course, we all knew that at some point, all these things will stop. Definitely, Barcelona were insisting for Atletico to pay the €40 million, but according to Atletico, the conditions were not yet met. But according to Barca, they were saying that it was just for one season, which was last season. So there was that interpretation issue between those two clubs. So as it stands, it seems as though there is an understanding now between Diego Simeone's team and Barcelona, when it comes to the future of Antoine Griezmann. Of course, we know Griezmann have played very few minutes this season compared to the other season. And, Atletico and Barca want to stop this problem once and for all, come to a peaceful approach. And it seems as though it will be less than the €40 million initially that Barca were expecting the deal to be true. But, it seems as though Barca have accepted that better pay less for Antoine Griezmann than what we expected, than bringing back Griezmann to Barcelona, because from all indications, Barcelona and Antoine Griezmann were not a match made in heaven, because we saw the 2 years Antoine Griezmann spent at Barca. It was not really his best time in his football career, and I think Barcelona don't need him. He does not fit the Barca style, neither does he even fit Xavi's style, because, so from the reports we are talking about 20 million, which is the possible payment that Atletico will give to Barcelona to make the purchase for Antoine Griezmann permanent. So anyway, I think it's a win-win for all parties involved, even though Barca will not get the €40 million that they were highly expecting, and they were trying to even go to court about that. But Laporta and his board had decided that no, they will just keep everything on a low key, and better they bring in a peaceful approach rather than going in a violent way, trying to force the money. So let's see how it goes. So they are still to finalize it according to Marca, but it seems as though the agreement between two clubs is already in place, and Griezmann is set to be an Atletico Madrid player full time, not on a loan deal again. Trying to going for his second spell at the club. So let's see what will be decided at the end. Then moving on to the next story of discussion. For the past couple of weeks, there has been plenty of discussion around the successor to come in for Barcelona captain Sergio Busquets next season. It has been reported that the World Cup winner may bid farewell to the club in the summer of 2023 when his contract expires, which makes it key for Barcelona to find a replacement for a virtually irreplaceable player. There were some suggestions that Xavi entrusts Frankie de Jong to potentially take over the mantle, while others stated that the currently on loan Nico Gonzalez is the rightful heir to the Barca legend. However, a chunk of the rumors have centered around Martin Zubimendi as the perfect solution. A new revelation details whether a move to Spotify Camp Nou is on the cards. As per the latest information provided by journalist Bruno Alemany, Zubimendi has agreed a contract renewal with Real Sociedad. It is stated that the deal will become officially shortly, while the €60 million rate and release clause will carry on to his new contract. Why the Catalan Giants are understood to be keeping an eye on the situation, getting the transfer done over the line is believed to be a new challenge now. Despite Busquets still showcasing his class on most match days, it is safe to say that the once imperious defensive midfielder is past his imperious prime. As a result, it remains extremely essential for FC Barcelona to scout the appropriate replacement, as the number 6 role remains instrumental in Xavi's setup. At just 23 years of age, Martin Zubimendi would have been an astute signing for the next decade, considering he is also hailed as one of the best sitting midfielders in La Liga. However, the Sociedad Academy product's decision to commit his long-term future with his boyhood club forces Barcelona to return to the drawing board. Wolverhampton and Portugal midfielder Ruben Neves is also being looked at as a target by FC Barcelona. So Barcelona continue to look for Sergio Busquets' replacement. Of course, Busquets leaves Barcelona when his contract comes to an end at the end of the season. And Zubimendi have been the most talked about player, but it seems as though he will extend his contract. According to latest reports, he loves Real Sociedad a lot, and in his recent interview, he did even spoke about, he did even hint about the possibility of extending his contract at Real Sociedad. So if this report is to be believed, Zubimendi will not be a Barca player as expected. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.